Right, welcome to my review of Season 2, Episode 10 of Batwoman. This show is so heavy-handed. So heavy-handed. The title of this episode was called Time Off for Good Behaviour. Now, that entire title is actually built around... there's no subtlety here. Quite literally, the entire message of this episode... they have some sort of drug issues involved in this episode as well, but the entire point of Time Off for Good Behaviour is that the head of a for-profit prison system has been literally letting out criminals at night to go and burn down community centres, right? In exchange for early release. Why? Because, ladies and gents, community centres result in less people going to prison. So it's hurting his bottom line. If you can believe it. That was literally in this episode. That's the whole point of the title. Time Off for Good Behaviour. I mean, it's so bad. It's so bad. That in and unto itself as some bafflingly heavy-handed lay down of, I guess, social commentary is just, it's just nonsense. It's just nonsense. And they think to themselves, well, clearly they don't think to themselves, but the ratings have not been going up. The ratings are appalling on this show. They are absolutely appalling. And they're not going to improve. They're not going to get better. Because people just don't want to have those kind of weird lectures. It's so very strange. So very strange. Now, there are some other elements of this episode which were meh. See how it plays out, I guess. I was going to say interesting, but nothing about the show is interesting. Enigma is working with Black Mask, right? That's interesting. Now, you could say she's, a member of the False Face Society, but then also, part of Sapphire's army as well. It's like, well, clearly she's not. She's clearly just a for-hire memory wiper. Just a way that they can get people in here. They have Snakebite, the most well-packaged drug I have ever seen. It literally comes in... Well, I mean, it's a full-blown package system. They have boxes like you'd find an iPhone 10 or 11 or 12. I don't even know what the latest iPhone is. But they literally have iPhone or Google Pixel boxes that this drug comes in. It's all neatly packaged away. I mean, really? For real? Gotham's supposed to be some sleazy, awful place, and they're like, oh, this terrible drug, Snakebite, it makes you hallucinate moments of great tragedy, and it makes you turn it in your head to moments that you win. That's why it's addictive. That's literally how it's explained from Enigma. And that comes in like a proper packaging. It's just such garbage. Now, interestingly enough, the dad, Jacob Kane, has now become addicted to Snakebite in a really nonsensical storyline. So the reason why it's all nonsensical is they have this big push for community centres. They're like, yeah, community centres are clearly the backbone of communities, and that's what leads people not to go to prison. That is literally the message they're saying. But then in another breath, they have Jacob Kane get in his car, the head of the Crows, and he gets chloroformed, and he wakes up with Snakebite in his system, right? With literally drugs in his arm. And then he chooses not to tell anyone. Okay. And now he's become massively addicted, and he's like, I can't tell anyone because I'm addicted. It's like, right, okay. Where's the messaging here? Are you what? Are we vilifying people that become accidentally addicted to stuff, whilst also telling us that only community centres can stop people from going to prison? I just don't get it. It is just such nonsense. Now, they do explain it, apparently, anyway, is that this was something which was all going to be happening. It was all something that Jacob Kane was going to be building towards. He just can't handle the loss of his daughters. So it's not Beth. It's not Kate Kane, Ruby Rose's old character. It's not her that he sees when he takes the snake bite. It's Beth. It's Alice. And he's like, oh, I wish it was my greatest regret that I stopped searching for you. And you're just like, for God's sake, really? Really? Utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. I hate it so much. This show is awfully heavy-handed in just the worst ways. And it really is the worst ways. It's not good. It's not good at all. Now, we haven't seen Black Mask actually properly be Black Mask yet. Interestingly and hilariously enough, Black Mask kills essentially some of the only people that know the recipe for snakebite, or he's driven away the people that know the recipe for snakebite, so now he doesn't have people to manufacture snakebite for him, so he's just going on a killing spree of his own men. It's like, well, you're clearly an idiot then, aren't you? Why didn't you have anyone that knew... Why didn't you have anyone that knew to make snakebite? It was a proprietary blend or something? Like, and it's just such nonsense, because Black Mask in this series, his day job is running a pharmaceutical cosmetic company. So you're like, well, you're very clearly up to date on proprietary blends here, mate. So why do you not know the recipe to the most addictive drug in Gotham? You utter idiot. Such garbage. I hate it so much. Hate it so much. And it will never get any better. And they will just keep losing viewers, because it's just the hardest stuff to watch. It really is. That's right, ladies and gents. Community centres are the backbone of everything. And anyone not going to a community centre will commit crime. And prison CEOs will apparently burn them down because they want criminals. Whatever. But apparently you'd definitely be ashamed of taking drugs, even if accidentally you become addicted to them. Be massively ashamed. That's the message of this episode. Awful. Crap. Die in a ditch.